Hey all! Amanda here with your final recap video for the qualifying rounds of Season 12 of American Ninja Warrior. Episode 4 had a host of strong competitors, with tons of firsts, mind-boggling editing, and feel-good moments spread throughout. 14 of the 17 athletes advancing hit buzzers, although there were 15 course completions Monday night. Remember, just because you hit a buzzer does not mean you advance. But the only way ninjas could hit a buzzer was to make it through these 6 obstacles, which were the shrinking steps, where athletes run up 5 steps that decrease in size, angled on an incline, that lead to a rope, where they then must jump out to grab and swing to the landing platform. 2 runs ended here. Next, returning from previous seasons, we have Off the Hook, which consists of 2 swinging boards, each with a peg attached to it. Ninjas must hang onto a ring hooked to the first peg on the first board, then build momentum to jump to the second board, hooking the ring on the second peg before swinging to the landing platform. 7 competitors could not make the transfer between rings and hit the water. Then, a new fan favorite, back from last week, we have the Beehive, where competitors must swing across 3 hanging honeycomb-shaped ledges. The middle honeycomb starts perpendicular to the others. Once the competitors grab onto the second honeycomb, they had to rotate it 270 degrees counterclockwise until it was locked into place, making it parallel to the other honeycombs. 5 athletes could not figure this one out. Ninjas had to keep their balance when it came to the spinning bridge, as they run across 6 inflated bouncing balls, all of varying heights and size, to make it to the other side. 3 people wiped out here. Then, in a new obstacle, we had Sideways. Ninjas jumped up to reach the first of 3 boards, each of which tilt to either side, and athletes must keep their weight evenly distributed as they work their way across. Then they reach a perpendicular bar, where they must jump and turn 45 degrees, mid-air, to grab a handle underneath the bar. Ninjas then slide across the bar to reach 3 more tilting boards, this time angled on a decline, and swing out to the landing platform. This new event took 7 people out. And as always, we end with the 14.5-foot warped wall, and back again is the 18-foot mega wall, where competitors have a chance of winning $10,000 if they make it up on their first attempt. Ninjas only get 1 chance at scaling the mega wall, and if they fail, they only get 1 shot at climbing the regular wall. If they miss both walls, they do not complete the course, and their score is based on the time it took to get to that point. Only the top 12 fastest ninjas advance. 5 competitors attempted the mega wall, with only 1 success. The show was full of great moments, from surprising rookie runs to veterans of the show's victories, and here, in no particular order, are the results. Lucas Reale returned for his 3rd season, bringing with him Jennifer Santano, who missed the transfer on Beehive, and whose run was digested, and Matthew Freitas, whose run was entirely cut from the show, and who was not mentioned. He went out on the spinning bridge. Lucas himself ended up with the 3rd fastest time of the night, hitting a buzzer at 1:17:09, yet his run was digested. Jerry DeRilio brought an all-military team, including National Guardsman Michael Bauer, who was out on Beehive, and Army medic Verdale Benson, who after 3 seasons hit his first buzzer and advances with a time of 2:22:29. Jerry had Barclay Stockett cheering her on from the big screen, but missed catching the 4th board on Sideways. OG Ninja Brian Crutch returned with ex-footballer Brandon White, who almost ended his run with a low landing after shrinking steps, but made it to the spinning bridge, where he was too slow and fell. Kayaker Vance Harris had an incredible run for being a rookie who admitted to having never trained for ninja competition. It looked like he had awesome friends who were going crazy on the big screen cheering him on as he made it all the way to hitting a buzzer. However, his time was 3:10:31, and this 19-year-old will not be advancing. Another disappointing casualty of the new rules this year, but he clearly has the natural talents, so if he does decide to return, a little ninja training could really help with efficiency, and if he can improve his time, he would definitely be one to watch in the future. Let's hope he returns. Brian's run was digested, but he did hit a buzzer at 2:18:44 and will be advancing to the semifinals. The big cat Karsten Williams returns, bringing former San Francisco Giant and World Series winner Gary Brown, who fell on Sideways, as well as Kalia Rayner, who took 15 swings on Off the Hook before gassing out. Her run was digested. Karsten was going for speed, but missed the 4th board on Sideways, and unfortunately will not be advancing. The Cowboy Ninja was back, bringing Kat Henshin, who is also a caregiver for a spouse with MS, whose ring got caught on the first peg when attempting a transfer on Off the Hook. Lance also invited Luke Mickelson, who also missed the transfer on off the hook. His run was digested. Lance attempted the mega wall, but was off by a bit. He did, however, hit a buzzer with a time of 1:45.62 and will be advancing to the semifinals. His run was digested. From walk-on to fan favorite, Kevin Bull returned, bringing with him Abby Streffel, whose daughter Molly Kevin had bonded with through his work with children with alopecia. Abby made it to the beehive, but fell on the last honeycomb. Her run was digested. Kevin's other pick was Isaiah Barney, who fell on the spinning bridge and whose run was digested. Kevin's run was also digested, but he did manage to hit a buzzer with a time of 1:57.17. Sweet Tea was back and brought with her Chinna Balachandra, who suffered a brain injury and had part of his skull removed a year ago. He missed the transfer on off the hook, and his run was digested. Tiana bonded with her second pick, Katie Lanza, while taking care of her mother. Katie had her son Nolan cheering her on as she just barely caught the landing after the shrinking steps, but could not gain momentum on off the hook and fell. 6-year veteran Tiana Weberly was able to save herself on the spinning bridge and went on to hit her first buzzer ever, sending her to the semifinals. A standout rookie from last season, Nurse Maddie Howard returned and brought Kamara Barku, who couldn't figure out Beehive and whose run was digested, as well as rodeo cowgirl Faith Fitzgerald, who was out on the shrinking steps and whose run was digested. Maddie herself had a hard landing after the spinning bridge, but went on to hit her first buzzer and was the fastest female runner of the night. Watch for her in the semifinals. Fan favorite Mathis Kidawati was back, with Matt Carmona, who was out on off the hook and whose run was digested, as well as Sophia Oster, who looked to have a great run until she missed the second board on sideways, but her run was digested. And, in a stunning editing choice, the kids' run was digested. Mathis attempted the mega wall and came up just shy of victory, but was still able to hit a buzzer with the fourth fastest time of the night. One of my favorite ninjas, Megan Martin, returned and was having a great run until she grabbed the fifth board on sideways with her left hand first, which caused the board to tilt and she hit the water. Luckily, she made it there fast enough to advance to the semifinals. The two people she invited were Callie Spradling, who fell on off the hook, and Alex Nye, who competed in Season 10. He hit a buzzer with a time of 2:19.92 and will be heading to the semifinals. Both runs were completely cut from the show, and neither athlete was mentioned. A rookie last year, the cake ninja David Wright returned with two other bakers that work with him. They showed that they could work together in the kitchen, but this whole team succeeded on the course individually. The bad brass ninja Alex Carson returned for his 6th season, and although he hit a buzzer, his run was digested. Amir Malik was so excited to complete the course in his rookie year that he broke the buzzer. David missed the mega wall by about a hand's length, but did hit the buzzer, and all three members will be advancing to the semifinals. David's run was digested. Michael Torres returned for his 5th season and may have had the most touching run of the night. Michael invited back two ninjas that inspired him. Kyle Schultz returned for his 4th season, and after hitting his hand on off the hook, he could not hold on to the fourth board on sideways and fell. Jimmy Choi, who is an advocate for Parkinson's disease, had a heartbreaking fall when his left hand missed the rope after running up the shrinking steps. He fell backwards headfirst into the water. Kyle and Michael ran to come for him, and Michael vowed to try for the fastest time to get to the power tower where he could bring his friends back. And Michael was true to his word. Michael flew through the course, making it look a little sloppy, but he did not waste time on sideways, where he was able to hop past the last 3 boards without a break in between and took the fastest time of the night. And of course, everyone's favorite weatherman was back, and he brought with him Joshua Lewis, who was briefly shown in a flashback during Joe's run. He fell on sideways, and his run was cut, other than that mention. Joe also brought superfan Will Schleigner, who started applying for the show on Season 4 when he was only 14. After training for 8 years, this rookie's run was a little sloppy, but he made it to the 3rd honeycomb on Beehive, where he lost his grip and then his temper when he hit the water. About to be a father for the 3rd time at the time of taping, Joe wanted it all this season, and so far is finding success. Joe was the only athlete to successfully scale the mega wall this episode, and he did it fast enough to have the 2nd fastest time of the night and face Michael Torres in the power tower. In a side note, Joe has since welcomed baby boy Dylan to the world. In the power tower, Michael fell slightly behind early on, but made a great attempt to catch up when climbing up the poles to the dropping shelves, but was going too fast and could not grab the landing, where he fell to the mat below. Joe Moravsky hit the buzzer, advancing teammates Will Schlechter and Joshua Lewis to the semifinals. Joe swears Will is the one to watch, so let's see what happens. So that's it for episode 4, the final qualifying episode. We now have 64 athletes heading to the semifinals. The semifinals will take place over 2 episodes, where only the top 12 fastest advance, including the 2 fastest women. I'm still unclear about exactly how the finals will play out, but I will have a sneak peek at all the competitors heading to the semis. I'm guessing there will be 32 runs each night, but I do not know which athletes will run on either night. But as soon as I do, you will too. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications so you can find out when the next American Ninja Warrior video is released. I hope you're enjoying the season so far and that all your favorites are still in it. As always, if you have any thoughts on runs or obstacles this season, feel free to leave a comment below and tell us what's on your mind. I'm getting really excited for the semifinals, and I hope you are too. So until next time, enjoy the show!